Hey guys, Statue here. I got another anti-sub warfare video for you. This is a video covering some updates that we've done to the system after some review and some discussion with one of our local uh, anti-sub warfare experts. So right now I've got the mission set up in a sort of debugging mode, so you're going to see some debugging messages in the corner. I've also got the map set to see everything so we can keep track of where this submarine is. Um, if you guys are testing this and you're on the test mission here, I've got a debugging menu set up for you. So if you go to the debug menu, you can hit the assist, and what that's going to do is it's going to give you the name of the sub, the heading it's moving in, the depth, the speed, and how loud it is for your sonobuoys. This isn't going to tell you where the sub is. This is just if you're running into problems and you're not sure if it's a bug or if the sub is, not there. You can run this and just get some information on what's going on. If you're still having issues, you're not sure if there's something broken, you can cheat and hit the mark submarine location, and you'll get a map marker on top of wherever that submarine is with some information about its depth, the speed, and the heading. If you are testing this, try to avoid using those if you can. I want to see how difficult this is to do, but just know that those are there for you if you need them. Alright, so let's get started here. Just gonna lift off from the HMS Ocean, and we'll head on out. Alright, so first thing I want to show you guys is the new behavior of the sonobuoys and the probe with their shadow zones. So if we drop a sonobuoy here, you're gonna see just in the top right corner the debugging information here. It says there's 3 shadow zones and then where they are. And you'll see that these shadow zones are drawn. You've got the green one, the blue one, and then the red one. Kind of hard to tell, but the red one is right up against the outside of the ring here. So if the submarine is inside one of these shadow zones area, say it's here, it's going to be invisible to that sonobuoy. These shadow zones do not change once the buoy is deployed. You'll see here as you progress, that shadow zone stays the same. Now if I continue on and I drop another shadow zone, or another sonobuoy, the shadow zones are different. See, this one only has 2 shadow zones, and their positions are quite different from the other one here. So each time the buoys are dropped, the shadow zones are going to change. You see I dropped this one, and it has no shadow zones at all. One other thing with the sonobuoys, you'll notice the percentage here, battery. The batteries of these last 30 minutes. Once the 30 minutes is up, the buoy will no longer be active and will be removed from the map entirely. Alright, let's get back on course here and head towards our friend just on the along the coast. Alright, so we're approaching the sub here. I'm going to drop a sonobuoy. And you'll see in our debug data, there's a couple of calculations that have just been made. So you'll see that if sub 6.2 kilometers away from the drop buoy, it has a 40% chance that it'll hear it. So it's going to roll that chance. It rolled 9 out of 40. So this is a chance out of 100. But if the value that it rolls is below the percentage, so 40%, 40, then it's going to hear that splash and it's going to slow down. and you'll see that our sub now has slowed down to about 7 knots from 9, which is or 7 kilometers from 9, which is going to bring that down to the almost silent range. You'll see now that the Sonoboy is only picking up faint sounds, so it does not know where the sub is. It's not giving me it's not giving me my cone pointing to where that sub is. So that sub is going to maintain that slow speed now. If I drop another buoy, you'll see that it's also picking up faint sounds, and it just cannot hear it. But we know where the sub is, so let's get our sonar dip going. We've got a maximum range on the probe of about 4 kilometers, so we'll just get a little bit closer here. About heading 050 or so. And we'll get our probe in the water. Alright, so once that probe is in the water, you'll see now it also has the same shadow zones calculated. They're a little bit bigger for the sonar probe. This is mainly due to some limitations with the pathfinding of the sub. I'll look at that a little bit later here. But you can see we've got 2 shadow zones. One is the red, and one is the blue here. The sub is not inside any of the shadow zones right now, so when it sends this ping, it should be able to detect a sub. Alright, so it detected our sub, but something's wrong here, isn't there? We'll just ignore that one for now. This is our marker that was placed on the map. Submarine detected, heading 164, depth, speed. It's not on top of the submarine, and the reason for that is because the speed is now calculated, or the distance is being calculated based on the way the sound moves through the water, rather than a direct line of sight. So this is some really technical stuff with sound physics in the water, but basically there's going to be an inaccuracy with the distance of the probe. So the sub is now picked up speed. You can see it is now detected by our sonobuoys because it is going significantly faster and making a lot of noise. What it's also doing right now is it's trying to evade. It knows that there's a shadow zone nearby, and you can see the marker here. This is a debug marker showing that the sub is heading towards it to evade the ping. As we continue to ping, you'll see the marker kind of inaccurate, and then now the sub is in the shadow zone, and it is no longer being picked up by our pings. So you hear that ping go out, nothing picked up. The sub is stopped, so the sonobuoys are also not picking it up. So it's just silent in the water right now. The only way to get around this, we're going to get our sonobuoy out of the water, or our sonar probe out of the water, and we're just going to move a little bit closer to the to that sub. Looks like the sub may have surfaced a bit here. Probably went over some very shallow water. You see him right there. But let's just assume that this guy's under the water right now. So you can see he's actually moving still. Should be headed towards the enemy fleet there. You can see him turning now. Our sonobuoys are only picking up faint sounds because he's slowed down a bit again. Looks like we need to get a little bit lower here. Okay, so you'll see, it's kind of hard to see with all these drawings here. Let me just try to get rid of some of them. So you'll see now we've got our sonar probe zone here, and there's no shadow zones. So since we've relocated from our initial spot, it's going to calculate some new shadow zones because of that. So if you find that you're pinging and you should be picking up the sub and you're not getting any returns, just lift off, move about 100 meters or so out of in either any direction really, and it'll calculate some different set of shadow zones for you. So we did pick up the submarine. You can see it's here, and it's picked up speed again, and is trying to escape the range of our probe. So you'll see it's now traveling quite quickly, and our sonobuoys should pick it up now. There they go. All right, and one thing else you'll notice is how accurate the ping is, because we are so close to the submarine. We are within half a kilometer, or almost half a kilometer. The accuracy is going to be almost dead accurate. Once the sub starts kind of moving away here, you'll see in the pings, that one was a little bit closer to us. That next one was a bit more close. So you'll be tracking the sub and it'll look like, it's traveling this quickly, but really the sub is way up here now. We're going to get a little closer to this guy again, and since we have the luxury of actually seeing him, we're going to use that to our advantage. Alright, so the torpedo now has a maximum range of only 3 kilometers. It's quite short. Anything beyond that, and it's going to have a hard time tracking the submarine. But there's a few changes to the torpedo here I want to show you guys as well. So we'll see which one comes up here, but when you deploy your torpedo, you can see the torpedo's tracking has a time of impact 27 seconds. So we'll just speed up time a bit here. Alright, and the torpedo hit the sub. And we'll look at the debug here, and there's another calculation that was made. Alright, so right along this line here, you'll see kill or hurt, 69 out of 25. So this is a calculation out of 100. There needs to be 25 or less for it to kill the submarine. Since the submarine wasn't killed, you'll see here that it is only damaged. Alright, so the sub's going to stop. If it was underwater, the sub would climb, but it's already above the water, so maybe we'll check that out with a different sub here in a minute. And then we can just drop another torpedo. Speed up the time a bit here. And now it killed the submarine. Where's our sub? There it is. So thank you DCS for this, but we have to skip time a little bit here. And now the sub has finally killed itself and is sinking. So that's 1 kill for us. So let's oh, there's another one right here. Let's take a look at that damage model again here. Drop my torpedo. This one's going to take almost 89 seconds to go, so we'll just speed up time quite a bit. Wait for it to hit. Alright, so hit the sub again. And you'll see that our sub is now surfacing because it's been damaged. So it stopped. Very, very slowly coming up. Takes quite a while for it to surface. There it comes. So now that sub that's been damaged is coming up on the surface here. And we can do what we want with it. Drop bombs, whatever. Okay, so that's all I have to show you guys about this this updated anti-sub warfare script. I hope you get some time checking it out, testing it, seeing what you like with it, and give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Adios.